Archangel Michael reveals a dark transaction happened. You were left out of the inheritance. It's not too late. Archangel Michael reveals what they never expected to come to light. A dark transaction happened, and your name was removed from what rightfully belonged to you. In silence, in secrecy, in greed, your identity was whispered, and then wiped clean from something meant to secure your future. The moment they signed that paper, the heavens stirred. The very second they chose to shut you out, angels stood in attention. This wasn't just a betrayal of blood. This was an offense to divine order. They thought you wouldn't know. They thought you would walk through life unaware, disconnected from a destiny that carried your name in golden ink. But now the veil is lifting. What was hidden is rising. What was stolen is being summoned. Michael has come forward not to place blame, but to call back what is yours. A will, a signature, an agreement. It does not define the fullness of your inheritance. What is divine can be delayed but not denied. You have not lost your portion. You are about to step into your restoration. The world may say too late, but heaven says right on time. The transaction was dark, but your path is light. The delay was painful, but your comeback will be undeniable. They erased you from the document, but they could never erase you from destiny. And Archangel Michael stands now, holding a spiritual scroll with your name etched deep into its folds. It is still yours, and it is not too late. Something powerful is about to happen in your atmosphere. Watch closely in the next 24 hours. An opportunity will arise. A whisper of truth will find your ears, or a hidden detail will come forward. The ones who lied will feel exposed. The ones who took will be confronted by their own shadows. And you will begin to remember who you are. You are not forgotten. You are not disqualified. You are not invisible to heaven. You were meant to inherit not just what was written in ink, but what was sealed in the spirit. The enemy tried to sabotage your timeline, but the divine has recalibrated your course. You must listen now, not just with your ears, but with your knowing. Trust the pull in your spirit. Trust the fire building in your gut. Trust that this message didn't find you by accident. It is activation. It is confirmation. It is transformation. They cannot outrun what is returning. You cannot be denied what is divinely yours. Type amen to get blessing 7777. Archangel Michael speaks with fire in his voice and clarity in his gaze. Be still, but do not be silent. There is a shift in your atmosphere, and it has everything to do with the inheritance they tried to steal from you. Someone acted behind your back. Someone moved your name like a pawn off a board. Someone, trusted or known, traded truth for selfish gain. And in doing so, they triggered a spiritual investigation that now brings this message to your doorstep. Michael's sword has not been drawn in vain. It strikes not to harm, but to divide what is just from what is fraudulent. You were written out, yes, but you are being written back in, by divine order. The earthly inheritance is not the end goal, but it is a signpost. It's a signal that what was held back from you in the natural is also what they tried to limit in the spiritual. They didn't just steal from you. They tried to mute your rise. And Archangel Michael says that silence ends tonight. There is urgency in the spirit. Do not sleep on this. The next 24 hours are charged. A phone call, a text, a comment from a stranger, a forgotten document, something will surface. Do not dismiss it. Do not overlook the detail. Something is aligning in your favor, and heaven wants your eyes open. The realm of the unseen is shaking because you are awakening. That's why you were led here. That's why this is reaching your screen. Archangel Michael is not speaking in generalities. He is speaking to you. You were left out of the contract, but you're being called into the covenant. Watch your dreams. Watch your surroundings. The ones who acted in the shadows are starting to tremble in silence. They can feel that heaven is watching. They can feel that justice is stirring. You don't have to go looking for confrontation. Truth will find you. You don't have to chase retribution. Reversal has already begun. Be calm, be alert, be obedient to the pull inside your chest. You are not alone. You are not powerless. You are not forgotten. The light is coming. And as you continue to receive, remember, watch my channel videos regularly. You will find guidance, truth, and strength within every word shared here. The voice that speaks to you today will keep speaking, louder and clearer, through each message. Type Amen to get blessings 1212. There is a conversation happening behind your back, and it is not innocent. He is not harmless. It is soaked in misinterpretation, greed, and manipulation. Archangel Michael reveals now. Someone you trusted, someone with access, someone with knowledge. They took part in removing you from what was meant to bless you. They didn't just forget you. They didn't overlook you. No, they made a decision, a calculated one. They made a move in silence, thinking silence would protect them. But the silence is cracking. The silence is bleeding. The silence is screaming now. You feel it, don't you? That strange sense that something isn't right. That unfinished business you can't shake. That conversation you weren't part of but somehow, somewhere in your soul, you knew happened. That's not your imagination. That's discernment. That's the echo of betrayal brushing up against your spiritual awareness. Archangel Michael says, they thought they erased you from the story, but they only tore a page out of a book that still belongs to you. They saw your light, and it threatened their control. They saw your potential, and it disrupted their comfort. So, they made a move. A secret meeting. A family gathering without you. A lawyer's office, maybe. A hidden will. A spoken lie dressed in legal language. And you were the target of silence. They crafted a narrative that excluded you, then acted like you were never meant to be part of it. But the truth doesn't sleep. The truth doesn't rot. The truth only waits. And now, it's waking up. Michael is peeling back the veil. He's showing you the shadows that moved while you were unaware. They didn't just misread you. They misunderstood your purpose, he says. They assumed your silence meant weakness. They assumed your absence meant ignorance. But what they forgot is that you carry spiritual authority, not just earthly entitlement. Your name is inscribed in heavenly archives, and no transaction can permanently erase what heaven ordained. There is someone who speaks of you now as if they know your story, but they only know fragments. They only know pieces. They only remember the version of you that made them feel superior. The moment you began to evolve, when you started walking in peace, in maturity, in spiritual strength, they panicked. They rushed to secure their position, thinking you would never return to claim what was yours. But here you were, called by the Archangel, awakened by divine instruction, armed with truth. And listen, someone may try to soften the past. They may tell you it wasn't intentional. They may pretend it was a misunderstanding. But Archangel Michael says, discern the spirit, not the words. You are being prepared not just for awareness, but for alignment. You are not meant to live in confusion. You are being positioned for clarity. Every shadow they cast is about to be burned away by divine light. There is tension building now, unseen yet undeniable. and those who plotted are sensing it. The air around them feels heavier. The guilt is pressing into their bones. Why? Because the truth is on its way to you, and they can't stop what's about to be exposed. Get ready, Archangel Michael says. This emotional disruption is the gateway to your spiritual breakthrough. You will no longer carry the weight of silence. You will no longer be left out of your legacy. And remember, watch my channel videos regularly. These warnings, these confirmations, these activations, they are not just messages. They are lifelines sent to guide you through storms that others cannot see. Stay plugged into the frequency of truth. Type Amen to get blessings 3737. Archangel Michael speaks again, this time with a weight in his tone, a warning wrapped in wisdom. This isn't just about money. This isn't just about payter. This isn't even about family. What you are facing is spiritual warfare disguised as legal action. The conflict you've been sensing is not merely rooted in earthly betrayal. It is a reaction to the divine oil on your life. This is not personal. This is prophetic. They didn't come for your inheritance because of greed alone. They came for your inheritance because your inheritance awakens your authority. This conflict is not a mistake. It's an attack. And you, chosen one, must recognize that the fire around you is evidence of the favor within you. The inheritance was supposed to flow to you effortlessly. The darkness took notice. The shadows noticed your bloodline. They noticed your capacity. They noticed your quiet resilience. So, they stirred opposition, not because of what you did wrong, but because of who you are becoming. You are not a threat because you're loud. You're a threat because your presence disrupts deception, says Michael. Look deeper. This conflict, this erasure of your name, this behind-the-scenes manipulation, is not merely the product of human minds. It was a spiritual interference. A dark force crept in through jealousy, through generational wounds, through pride, and it hijacked a conversation that was meant to elevate you. But Archangel Michael is here to remind you, your destiny cannot be hijacked when it is rooted in divine alignment. You have been marked, anointed, and appointed for something greater than the paper they signed. The document was forged in the presence of fear, but your purpose was authored in the presence of God. They thought they could remove you from an inheritance, but they forgot that no man can intercept what is spirit-sealed. They thought this was about excluding you from land, from wealth, from a title, but they were unknowingly trying to block your spiritual promotion. And in doing so, they exposed their hand. Now the spiritual realm is active. The angels are moving. There are shifts occurring in the unseen. What was done in silence is now echoing across realms. Your name is vibrating in heaven's courts. Your rights are being revisited. The balance is being corrected, not by courts of man, but by the throne of justice. And the one who tried to bind you to smallness will soon witness your expansion, because what they meant to destroy will now define your awakening. Archangel Michael says, you are under divine protection. Let no fear settle in your bones. Let no shame whisper in your ears. You were never rejected by heaven, only redirected for greater revelation. The battle has been spiritual all along, and now that you're aware, you will no longer fight with flesh and blood. You will stand with stillness. You will move with divine authority. And you will reclaim your name not just on paper, but in power. You are rising now as more than someone who was excluded. You are rising as one who sees the invisible battlefield and still walks forward. That is spiritual maturity. That is divine resilience. That is prophetic fire. Let this remind you. Watch my channel videos regularly. When spiritual attacks try to confuse you, These messages will ground you, guide you, and armor you with truth and clarity. Type Amen to get blessings 8484. Archangel Michael steps forward now, not as a whisper, but as a storm of divine revelation. His voice is sharp. His words strike like lightning. Pay attention. Someone is planning their next move. They thought you would remain unaware, unguarded, uninvolved. But heaven is placing this warning in your path, because the moment to act in awareness, not emotion, is now. This is not the time to second-guess your instincts. This is not the time to brush off your intuition. This is the time to observe carefully, because something is coming. There is movement behind closed doors. Messages being typed and deleted. Phone calls being made in hushed voices. Documents being reviewed once again. Someone is preparing to justify what they did. They are planning a false narrative. They are building a version of events that protects their image, not the truth. And Archangel Michael reveals, they may reach out to you, not with an apology, but with strategy. A text, a call, a sudden act of kindness. It will seem harmless, but its purpose is to disarm you, to lull you back into silence. But silence is no longer your refuge. It is your weapon. Michael says, do not explain yourself. Do not seek validation. Do not try to fix what you did not fracture. The next 3 hours, yes, 3 hours, will begin a ripple of consequence in the spiritual realm. You may not see it with your physical eyes, but something is shifting around the ones who acted unjustly. Their conscience is stirring. Your alliances are cracking. Your plans are losing power. Because heaven has entered the matter now, and divine justice does not negotiate. Be prepared. The next interaction with this person, whether verbal or written, will be a test. Will you slip into anger? Will you respond out of offense? Or will you remember that your posture is power, and your restraint is revelation? Michael warns, they will use half-truths to bait you into full reactions. But the battle is not one with volume, it's one with vision. And your vision must remain fixed on the bigger picture, your healing, your restoration, your divine compensation. You do not need revenge. You do not need to prove your case. What you need is alignment. And that is what this warning gives you. It aligns you with spiritual strategy. While they scramble for control, you sit in calm power. While they gossip, you grow. While they plot, you prepare. There will be no warning shot. They will make their move suddenly. And when they do, you will remember this moment. You will remember that the Archangel told you beforehand. You will remember that heaven gave you the upper hand before the confrontation even began. Let them speak. Let them scheme. Your stillness is a declaration. Your silence is a shield. Your obedience is a sword. Archangel Michael says, when you stand under divine protection, even hidden agendas become visible weapons, and no weapon formed shall prosper. You are not walking into a trap. You are walking through a test, and you are walking out with testimony. Also remember, watch my channel videos regularly. These are not just messages. They are divine instructions, sent in divine timing to those chosen to rise. Type Amen to get blessings 9999. Archangel Michael now wraps his wings around you, not to shield you from the world, but to center you in divine power. His presence settles like a calm flame, steady yet unshakable. As he speaks, now is not the time to fight back in the flesh. Now is the time to protect your peace like a crown, because your stillness is more dangerous to the enemy than your reaction. You've been drawn into a battlefield that wasn't of your choosing, but now, How you move will determine what is moved on your behalf. Stay grounded. Stay aligned. Stay spiritually sharp. You may feel the urge to explain, to justify, to call someone out, but Michael says, your vindication will not come through words. It will come through waves of divine reversal. Do not explain yourself to those who committed the erasure. Do not try to convince those who already chose to believe the lie. They are not the audience for your healing. They are the backdrop for your ascension. Their denial is irrelevant. Your elevation is inevitable. Let your silence speak louder than their accusations. Let your calm disturb their chaos. The same people who dismissed you will witness you rise, and it won't be because you shouted louder. It will be because you stood taller. Michael instructs you now, preserve your energy. Protect your heart. Guard your spirit. And let heaven do what you cannot. Divine intervention is not passive, it is precise. The same sword that reveals injustice also cuts through spiritual entanglements. You are being freed. You are not to chase validation. You are not to demand what they refuse to give. You are to receive what heaven is preparing. The inheritance they tried to hold back is being routed with interest. The documents may be hidden, the conversations may be quiet, but the spirit world is not silent. Angels have been dispatched. Doors are being stirred. Records are being reviewed, not in earthly archives but in the divine registry of justice. What they tried to shut out is being reopened by a force they cannot oppose. You must breathe deep. Take back your mornings. Proclaim your peace. Michael says, do not let this battle steal your joy. Do not let it anchor your mind to offense. You have already won. Walk like it. The enemy wants your energy. That's why they stirred confusion. But your clarity is their defeat. Your composure is your cloak. And your obedience is the signal for angelic warfare to intensify on your behalf. And yes, as you move in divine silence, you must stay connected to truth. Watch my channel videos regularly, not for entertainment, but for alignment. These are not just words, they are weapons. Not just comfort, they are confirmation. You will not walk through this season blind. And to those who wish to pour into this light, your support through super thanks, super chat, super stickers, or channel memberships makes it possible to share these divine messages further and with more frequency. Your generosity fuels the mission, and it is seen, appreciated, and blessed. Tap payment to get blessings 333. Now listen, this is the moment everything begins to turn. Archangel Michael, standing with unwavering presence, speaks with strength in every syllable. You are not who they thought you were. You are not who they tried to reduce you to. You are not a name on a forgotten document. You are a storm in the spirit realm, rising with unstoppable purpose. What was meant to erase you will now elevate you. What they tried to bury is becoming your platform. You have changed. You have matured. You have grown, not just in silence but in power. You've learned to discern without reacting, to watch without crumbling, to rise without needing recognition. Archangel Michael declares, you are shifting. And this shift is not subtle. It's shaking the very foundation of the systems that tried to contain you. Your stillness is power. Your alignment is disruptive. Your obedience to the divine voice is rattling the walls they built to keep you out. They thought your absence was defeat, but it was protection. They thought your silence was surrender, but it was strategy. They thought you wouldn't return, but they never imagined you'd come back with divine backing. You are no longer the same version of yourself they schemed against. You are rising with clarity, confidence, and a calling that overshadows their schemes. Michael says, out of the ashes you rise. Out of the rejection, you rebuild. Out of the betrayal, you are reborn. The spiritual inheritance they tried to block is now your birthright in motion. You are becoming a sign, a signal, a symbol of divine resilience. You are the proof that no plot can prevent purpose. You are the reminder that no earthly hand can override heavenly order. You don't need their apology to rise. You don't need their approval to claim what's yours. You don't need their validation to shine. You have been validated by the highest authority. Your name is in heaven's archives. Your favor is written in fire. The same people who spoke of you as an afterthought will one day speak about you with awe, because what's coming for you is public restoration for a private betrayal. Archangel Michael commands you to walk differently now. Walk like one who has already won. Walk like one who is about to be seen by those who tried to make you invisible. Walk like one who knows the battle was never against them. It was a battle for your becoming. You have emerged from the fire refined, not reduced. Elevated, not erased. And as you rise, stay tuned to the voice that has guided you through the storm. Watch my channel videos regularly, because as you evolve, new instructions will meet you. Every level of elevation comes with a new layer of revelation, and heaven will not leave you without guidance. Type Amen to get blessings 1212. Archangel Michael now speaks with the steady certainty of a final decree. You have passed the test. The betrayal has served its purpose. The silence has carved out strength. And now, what was once hidden in darkness will be exposed under divine light, for your elevation is here. A shift has been declared in the spirit realm. The transaction at once removed you will now return to you, with restoration, recompense, and revelation. And it will not look like the past. It will look like power. It will look like peace. It will look like prophetic closure. Someone is being stirred. Their spirit is uneasy. Their sleep is interrupted. Their memories are replaying choices made in secrecy. Archangel Michael says, one will come forward, not to save you, but to confirm you, to reveal what was covered, to release what was hidden. It may be a voice from the past, a relative with a conscience, a stranger with a message, a spiritual sign that aligns perfectly with what your heart already knew. This is not random. This is divine correction. It is heaven's way of saying, what they tried to end was only the beginning. This is your moment of awakening. The battle didn't break you. It broke open the path. The pain didn't define you. It refined you. The inheritance they withheld cannot compare to the internal wealth you gained in this fire. You have emerged not with vengeance, but with vision. Not with bitterness, but with boldness. Not with wounds, but with wisdom. Michael declares, this was the final test before your transformation. You are ready now, not just to receive it, but to reign. And now, divine favor surrounds you. It is forming in your atmosphere. It is traveling into rooms your name has yet to enter. It is knocking on the hearts of people who will become divine connections, protectors of your future, bearers of truth. The same voice that warned you now blesses you. You will walk into unexpected peace. You will recover what was lost. You will see honor replace shame, and grace rebuild what was taken. Let go of the timeline. Let go of the need for perfect justice in human terms. Justice from heaven does not come in fragments, it comes in fullness. And it is coming to you. Archangel Michael promises, this resolution will not just restore things, it will transform you. It will awaken parts of you that were waiting for the moment of alignment. And this is that moment. Receive it fully. Stand in it boldly. Declare it audibly. I am not a victim. I am the verdict. You have walked through darkness and still carry light. You have been left out but are now being lifted up. You are the exception that defeats the expectation. You are chosen, sealed, and sent forth. Watch my channel videos regularly. Every word spoken from this divine stream is designed to nurture your transformation. Your elevation is not an event, it's a process. And I will walk with you through every step. Happy meant to get blessing 777. Archangel Michael now stands with full authority, hands extended, not to give you something you don't already have, but to remind you of what has always belonged to you. This is the moment where listening turns into action, where awareness transforms into movement. You are no longer simply an observer of injustice. You are now a carrier of divine authority. And this authority demands your alignment. You've heard the truth. You've seen the pattern. You've felt the pull in your spirit. Now you must choose. Will you walk forward in power or remain seated in the memory of betrayal? Archangel Michael says, the next part of your journey cannot be delayed by hesitation. It's time to take your seat at the table they tried to lock you out of. The inheritance was never just about finances. It was about your voice, your legacy, your divine position. And it's time to reclaim all of it. This is the call to stand up, spiritually, emotionally, energetically, and say, no more shrinking. No more silence. No more settling. The silence you carried was never weakness. It was strategy. But now, your presence must speak louder than their plots. You are stepping into rooms they thought you'd never enter. You are walking with a posture they never expected you to carry. You are rising, not in arrogance, but in authority. And now, I ask you, not as a stranger, but as one sent to speak truth into your atmosphere, will you act? Will you honor the warning and walk in the wisdom? Will you take this message, not as something you stumbled upon, but as something heaven specifically assigned to your path? Because you were meant to hear this. You were meant to awaken. And now, you are meant to respond. Do not let this moment pass without honoring what your spirit knows. Speak it aloud. Share it. Reflect on it. Take a step, any step, that affirms what you've just received. Whether it's reclaiming your peace, setting a boundary, or making a bold decision to revisit what was lost, your activation begins now. And remember, watch my channel videos regularly. These messages aren't just drops of insight. They are divine coordinates guiding your every step. You are not walking blind. You are being led. Now, in this sacred final moment, Archangel Michael places his hand upon your spirit, not to weigh you down, but to lift you up. His words are not just a conclusion, but a coronation. He declares, you are not a victim. You are the revelation. You are not what they left out. You are what heaven is raising up. The story they tried to silence is now the very storm that announces your return. You are no longer wandering in uncertainty. You are walking in divine clarity. Let the final truth settle deeply. You were never forgotten. You were forged. Every painful delay, every door that was shut, every name that was whispered in exclusion, it all became the fire that refined your discernment. You now know who you are. You now know who you are not. You now know what you carry. And that knowing, that divine self-awareness, is more powerful than any paper they used to remove your name. The betrayal was the breaking, but also the birthing. The silence was suffocating, but also sacred. The injustice was undeniable, but so is your comeback. Archangel Michael says, let them whisper. Let them wonder. Let them watch. But know this, you rise. You rise with purpose. You rise with protection. You rise with prophetic power in your chest and truth in your eyes. Walk forward now, not with fear, not with revenge, but with reverence. Reverence for the divine path that protected you from what looked like a loss. Reverence for the wisdom you now carry like armor. Reverence for the voice that found you in your searching and spoke directly to your soul. You were called. You were warned. You were activated. And now, you are released to go. Go reclaim what they buried. Go recover what they hid. Go walk into the rooms built to carry your greatness. Go as one who knows the angels are not only watching, they are walking beside you. Your inheritance was spiritual long before it was material. And now, all things are aligning. The scroll is open. Your name is written. The gates are parting. Watch my channel videos regularly. Let this voice continue to guide you, uplift you, and confirm what your spirit already knows. You are ready. You are not who they remember. You are who heaven recognizes. Let them whisper. You don't just rise. You return, restored, refined, and reignited. Amen.